Terrorism seems to be everywhere, and it's getting worse. The bad guys have lots of names: ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram. But they have one thing in common. They are all killing for a cause: Islamic law known as Sharia. Sharia is the implementation of medieval Islam. Sharia demands a holy war called Jihad. The most widely available book of Islamic law in English says Jihad means to war against non-Muslims. There are two kinds of jihad. Violent jihad is horribly simple: slaughtering innocents and forcing submission. Violent jihadists want to conquer land for their caliphate, essentially an Islamic state where Sharia law is supreme. But there is another kind of jihad. In their explanatory memorandum, the Muslim Brotherhood calls this civilization jihad, saying the Muslim Brotherhood must understand that their work in America is a kind of grand jihad in eliminating and destroying the Western civilization from within and sabotaging its miserable house by their hands and the hands of the believers. Civilization jihad has the same goal as violent jihad: to conquer land for their caliphate. But instead of waging war or staging terror attacks like their brothers in the violent jihad, these civilization jihadists wear suits and ties, and their work is much more subtle. So what do? They file lawsuits for Muslim truck drivers who don't want to drive beer. They convince schools to hold Muslim Day, where the girls wear headscarves and the kids say Muslim prayers. They complain when our government watches to see if their violent buddies are hanging out with them. They call anyone critical of Islamic law an Islamophobe, a term they invented to make people scared to speak out. Like the neighbors of the terrorists in San Bernardino, who knew something was wrong, but didn't want to say anything because they'd be accused of profiling. These bad guys have lots of names too: CARE, MSA, ISNA. The Justice Department found that these groups were in fact started by the Muslim Brotherhood. These groups like to say that terrorism has no religion, but only Islam has Sharia and Jihad. Not all Muslims practice Sharia or support it, but an awful lot do. They believe that anyone who insults Islam can be killed. They believe that women are property, that gays should be killed, and that little girls should be mutilated and forced to marry old men they've never met. These things are simply not allowed in our free society and are against the Constitution. There are plenty of modern Muslims who want to live and let live, but unfortunately the groups that speak most often for the Muslim community follow the medieval version based on Sharia. They are working to make the U.S. more like the Caliphate. They have to go. Find out more and how you can help at counterjihad.com.